You ever open your banking app, see your paycheck hit, and then somehow, 2 weeks later, you're thinking, wait, where did it all go? You didn't buy a yacht. You didn't fly first class to Bali. You didn't even do anything crazy. You just lived. Groceries, car payment, a few subscription, dinner out, Amazon, rent, insurance. Normal life. And yet somehow, it feels like you're sprinting on a treadmill that's moving slightly faster every year. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It's probably not the big, dramatic financial mistakes that are costing you your freedom. It's 5 extremely normal decisions. Decisions so normal that almost every American makes them. And over a lifetime, they quietly cost around $300,000 or more. My name is Mike, and I spend way too much time thinking about how everyday financial decisions compound over time. If you're someone who feels like you're working hard, but your net worth just isn't reflecting it, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, this isn't about shame. This is about awareness. Because once you see the math behind these decisions, you can't unsee it. And once you understand the psychology behind them, you can finally fix them. Let's start with the first one. Here's what most people don't realize. Time is more powerful than effort. According to long-term historical data from the S&P Global, the S&P 500 has returned roughly 9–10% annually over long periods. Now let's run simple math. 2 people. Sarah starts investing at 25. Jake starts at 35. Both invest $500 per month. Both earn 8% annually. Both stop at 65. Sarah invests for 40 years. Jake invests for 30 years. Sarah ends up with about $1.5 million. Jake ends up with about $745,000. Same monthly investment. Just a 1–0-year delay. Difference? Over $750,000. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, but I didn't have money at 25. Totally fair. Most people don't. But here's the thing. Even a 5-year delay makes a massive difference. Because compounding is like planting a tree. The earlier you plant it, the more shade you get later. Psychologically, this happens because we underestimate exponential growth. We overvalue present comfort. We assume we'll make more later. This is called present bias, a concept studied extensively by behavioral economists like Richard Thaler. We value today more than tomorrow, and that bias alone can cost you hundreds of thousands. Action step. If you're under 40 and not investing yet, open a low-cost index fund this week. Even $100 per month matters. Automation beats motivation. We need to talk about cars. The average new car price in the US is now hovering around $48,000, according to industry data from Kelley Blue Book. The average monthly car payment? Over $700. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Cars don't just cost money, they delay wealth. Let's say at 25, you buy a $40,000 car instead of a reliable $15,000 used car. That's a $25,000 difference. If that $25,000 had been invested at 8% for 40 years, it becomes roughly $540,000. One car decision, $500,000. Now, I'm not anti-car, but here's what most people don't realize. The car you drive is usually more about identity than transportation. We use cars as status symbols, signals of success, proof we're doing okay, and advertisers know this. That's why luxury car commercials don't talk about engines. They talk about confidence, power, arrival. Psychology drives the purchase. Interest payments and depreciation do the damage. Action step. Buy cars based on 3 rules. Total value, under 30% of annual income. Keep it at least 8–10 years. Invest the difference. You get a raise. You deserve it. You worked hard, so naturally, you upgrade. Bigger apartment, better neighborhood, nicer restaurants, new wardrobe. Here's the problem. The average American household income is around $75,000, according to the US Census Bureau. But expenses rise almost in lockstep with income. This is called lifestyle creep. Let's say you get a $10,000 raise. After taxes, maybe that's $7,000. If instead of investing that $7,000 annually, you absorb it into lifestyle, over 30 years at 8%, that's about $800,000 lost. Now, you might be thinking, Mike, am I supposed to live like a monk? No, but here's the thing. We confuse improving our lives with inflating our expenses. Happiness research shows that after a certain income threshold, satisfaction increases very slowly. Studies from Princeton University have shown emotional well-being plateaus after a moderate income level, adjusted for inflation over time. Translation? Your $200 dinner probably didn't change your life, but investing that $200 monthly Absolutely could. Action step. Every time you get a raise, invest 50%. Upgrade lifestyle with 50%. Automatic rule. No debate. The average credit card interest rate in America is over 20%, according to the Federal Reserve. 20%. That means if you carry $10,000 in credit card debt and make minimum payments, you could pay over $20,000 total before it's gone. Here's what most people don't realize. A 20% interest rate is mathematically equivalent to losing 20% on your investments every year. You cannot outinvest that. This is where it gets really interesting. Debt isn't just math. It's emotional. It creates stress. It reduces risk tolerance. It keeps people from investing at all. It shrinks your future options. And the average American carries thousands in revolving credit card debt for years. If someone carries $8,000 at high interest for 15 years off and on, that could easily cost $50,000, $100,000 in lost opportunity. Action step. Attack debt in this order. High interest, above 7%. Moderate interest, low interest, strategic. No investing aggressively until high-interest debt is gone. This one shocks people. Let's say you accept your first job at $50,000. You could have negotiated to $55,000. You didn't. Now raises are percentage-based. 3% of $50,000 is smaller than 3% of $55,000. That $5,000 gap compounds every year. Over 30 years, assuming steady raises, you could easily lose over $200,000, $300,000 in total earnings. And if that difference had been invested, even more. According to studies from Harvard Business School, many employees, especially early in their careers, fail to negotiate simply due to discomfort and fear of rejection. Psychology again. We avoid short-term awkwardness, even when it costs long-term freedom. Action step. Always negotiate. Salary, remote flexibility, signing bonus. TOTOT. Worst case, they say no. Best case, you permanently increase your earning baseline. Let's recap. Delaying investing. Overspending on cars. Lifestyle inflation. High-interest debt. Not negotiating income. Individually, they seem harmless. Collectively, they can easily exceed $300,000. $1 million over a lifetime. Here's the deeper insight. Most financial failure isn't dramatic. It's gradual. It's invisible. It's comfortable. It's socially normal. And that's why it's dangerous. Look, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be extreme. You don't need to earn $300,000 per year. You just need to avoid the obvious traps long enough for compounding to work in your favor. Money freedom isn't built in giant leaps. It's built in small, boring, consistent decisions. So here's my challenge for you. Pick one of these 5. Just one. Fix it this month. Automate it. Lock it in. Because 20 years from now, you won't remember the car. You won't remember the upgraded apartment. You won't remember the awkward negotiation. But you will remember whether you have options. And that's what this is really about. Freedom. If this helped you think differently about money, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.